Welcome everyone to our exhibitor and sponsor webinar. We'll just take another minute or two for the other attendees to join and we'll begin shortly. Thank you. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our eHealth 2025 exhibitor and sponsor webinar. My name is Tiffany Bernard, and I'm delighted to be your host for this webinar. Over the next 30 minutes, our session will concentrate on the essential preparations for eHealth. Please note that this webinar is being recorded and the PowerPoint presentation will be shared to our exhibitor information page on our website before the end of the week. We're gratefully acknowledging that we are on the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabeg, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. We also acknowledge that Toronto is covered by Treaty 13, signed with the Mississaugas of the Credit, and the Williams Treaties, signed with multiple Mississaugas and Chippewa bands. Please feel free to share in the chat where you are joining us from. Okay, so during this webinar, representatives from Robinson Show Services and Encore will be providing an overview of their key information and demonstrate their online ordering portal. We'll share maximizing your online presence in the conference app, adding booth staff, key dates, on-site expectations, booth giveaway strategies, FAQs, and end with a 5-minute Q&A. At this time, I'd like to introduce Elaine and Maria from Robinson Show Services. Please feel free to add any questions that you may have to the chat and we'll address it at the end. Thank you. Elaine, off to you.
Thank you, Tiffany. So, hi, everyone. Maria and I will be assisting you with all of your exhibitor needs, as well as a team that's behind us who will be popping in to assist with inquiries that we receive online. The first thing that everyone should look at really is the exhibitor kit, which has been sent to you, I think, through your welcome letter from Tiffany, and certainly our team has reached out a couple times with links to this kit. And within the kit, a lot of the information that you guys need for your event is going to be in there. And the first thing we're going to start with is the page that Tiffany is showing you that has the show information. And this really talks to you about your specific booth and the key timing and dates that you need to follow to make this a successful event for you. So let's talk about the booth sizes first. So the booth sizes are 8 by 10, so they're 10 feet wide and 8 feet deep. And the standard booth package would contain a 8-foot high back wall and a 3-foot side rail. And this is within the Weston Harbor Castle in downtown Toronto. So it's a beautifully carpeted venue. So if you are ordering extra carpet, that will go on top of your existing carpet that is in the venue already. So you've already got an under padding there for you. So it's very nice and comfy, but you certainly don't need to order extra carpet if you don't want to. Each booth package comes with the basic pipe and drape shell that you have, plus one 6-foot skirted table, 2 side chairs, a wastebasket, and an ID sign at the back. If the name that you would like displayed is any different than the booth that you've signed up for, please let our team know, or Tiffany and Treasure's team know, so that we'll make sure that we have the correct name on the signage. In terms of the waste baskets, the hotel staff, unless you're ordering booth cleaning, no one will be entering your booth. So that waste basket management will be a self-managed process. We do offer services for booth cleaning, which would involve vacuuming or damp mopping of your floors, as well as a quick wipe down and garbage removal. And that is a paid for additional service that you would find within our services that you can order within that exhibitor kit. So that's an add-on. Some people don't have an actual booth package, but they've got academic zone kiosks or startup kiosks. And those are counter kiosks that are branded again with your name and include the header that will identify where you're located and the name of your company, as well as 2 stools and a wastebasket for your teams. Within that exhibitor kit, you will be able to locate, I think Treasurer's just popped on a link of what those kiosks look like for you. The booths have the ability to have electrical, and Zan and Tristan will talk to you about that shortly. But the automatic inclusion or default is electrical is not included in your booth. So that would be an order item as well. Wi-Fi is available on site, and Zan and Tristan will speak to that in more depth later on in terms of whether you need a hardwired line for your booth. And there is a lead retrieval option through the conference app. So again, and Treasure and Tiffany can speak to that. Within the booth, well, you have a very, very popular conference and storage is limited. So if you have a very small storage needs, everything can be stored under your table. If you have bigger storage needs, unfortunately, we are going to have to take that storage off-site. So please connect with the Robinson team on your storage needs. Storage does need to be ordered through our online portal. So if you have crates, they will be taken off-site and they will be brought back at the end of the event, which means that please have a little bit of patience with us on the return, because we will be having to return those empties back through the elevators to the show floor. So when we look at the key timings, which I think they're on the next slide, the key timing for exhibitor move out is on the Tuesday afternoon at 5 o'clock. So we are hoping to have all of the crates and freight back by about 5:30 for your teams. And move out would end at 9 o'clock, and the venue does need to turn that room over. So if you have any freight that needs to be picked up, please have your carriers be aware that they do need to come before 9 o'clock at night to pick up the freight at the end of the show. And any freight that's left on the show floor, unfortunately, we will have to remove for you. So it's in your best interest to have that freight organize that pickup ahead of time. In terms of timing, the key dates are shown here. The exhibitor move-in is on Saturday and Sunday. And as you can see the timings, this begins on Saturday afternoon from 1 to 9. And we're requesting that anyone come before 5 does make an appointment, just so that we can be sure to have your booth ready and or electrical ready if you're moving in at that time. And then from 5 to 9 o'clock, you can pop by to set up anything, as well as on Sunday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. And your exhibit open times are listed from Monday from 7:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. and on Tuesday from 7:30 to 5 p.m. If there's any changes to that, Tiffany would update you with that. We do have some deadlines, and one is coming up really, really quickly. And that is the deadline for early bird deadline, which is next Friday. And so I'm seeing some questions come up. Tiffany, should I answer those now or should I wait till the end?
I would suggest waiting until the end. I know that Treasury
Okay.
were helping us managing the chat as well.
Okay, fabulous. Okay, so we do have an early bird coming, deadline coming up on March 21st, and that means that you've got a discount that would, you have a code in the exhibitor kit that you can apply for a 10% discount up to that time. And after that time, we'll have regular pricing. And we're hoping that everyone puts their orders in early, because prices do go up 10% within 1 week of the show, and there are on-site charges. So we're hoping for everyone to order early. For graphics, for anyone that's ordering graphics, or sending us EAC insurance. So if you have a third-party provider that is setting up your booth, we're asking for all that paperwork to be in by May the 1st. Electrical has a different early bird pricing, and Zant would be able to talk to you about that. The next thing I want to talk about with regard to ordering, in terms of on our portal, you can find turnkey solutions for, up at the top, you can find turnkey solutions under show specials, which we're not going to view today. But you can provide we've got the full turnkey solutions in terms of fabric back walls and full hard walls, and we offer full printing and storage, and we are doing some custom booths for people. So that's one way to get your booth provided. And if you're not looking at a full turnkey, but just need a couple of extra items like cruiser tables or some bar stools, we do carry a full line of lounge furniture, which can be found on the top bar under rental items. So we have graphics, we have lounge furniture, we have hardwall booths, we have soft booths, and then we have our services. And the services that you'll see up in the top under shipping and services. And for the services, the most important ones to people really are shipping. And in those services, we do carry advanced warehousing, we have material handling and post-show. And I'm just going to quickly go over that difference between advanced warehousing and material handling. Advanced warehousing is when you are shipping your advanced shipment to our Robinson warehouse. And why are you shipping it there? You're shipping it there so that we can bring it directly to your booth, and you're not having a weekend delivery to the show site. The Westin itself does not accept any shipments directly to their site. So if you want to use the advanced warehouse, the shipment needs to go to the Robinson Show Services Advanced Warehouse, and we accept shipments from April 28th to May 28th. So it's 1 month before the show. And you would have to complete an advanced warehouse and material ordering form for that. And you need to select, as shown here on the screen, the type of shipment you have and the weight, the crated weight that you have approximately. So on this form, we've got a crated shipment is coming in at 200 pounds, which is the minimum. And then that charge is for basically shipping it to our warehouse. We receive it, we bring it to your booth. We put empties labels on that, and then we return the empties to you after. But again, if you've got large crates, then we will be taking that off site. If you are not shipping, but are bringing directly to the show, you would be having that shipped in on a weekend. So the carrier needs to be aware of that, and a dock time needs to be booked for that. So that has to come from us. And that would be all of that movement of stuff within it is the material handling. So that material handling needs to be filled out by your team so that we have a sense of the scope of your delivery. And we will make an appointment, and the appointments are based on a couple of things. It's based on the scope of your shipment, and it's based on your build time also. So people who have the larger booth builds will be prioritized in terms of getting in earlier because they just need longer time to build their booths. So that's how we go around that. In terms of the docks are limited to 26-foot trucks, but for anyone that is booking a dock with us, we will provide extra documentation for you with regards to what your truck should look like and what your truck should not look like. And then the last thing is the move out. Post-show services are something that you can take advantage of if you don't have a carrier that's able to pick up after the end of the show. So the show would break on Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. Couriers, so your FedEx and your UPS, will not pick up from the hotel show floor. So the venue does have an office. It's a business center that can handle small parcels, anything smaller than a 2x3. So a pop-up banner can be sent to the business center. They will charge minimal handling charges for that. And then anything bigger should come by a proper carrier, and the carriers will pick up from show site, but they do have to be there before 9 p.m. at night. So that is all that I had to cover, Tiffany. I think we can look at the rest of them in the Q&A.
Tiffany, I believe you're muted at the moment if you're speaking.
Oh, thank you for letting me know. Thank you, Elaine, for that insightful presentation. We are going to be moving forward. Any questions that are being asked in the chat at the moment, we are going to wait until the end of the presentation to address them. Now we will actually move on to Encore. So Zan, Tristan, feel free to take it away.
Perfect, thank you. Well, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Zan Nickel. I'm the Director of Sales at Encore here at the Weston Harper Castle. I'm joined by my colleague Tristan Hunter, who's our coordinator. We'll be working quite a bit with on these exhibitor forms. I hope you all have received this form and are familiar with it. I want to kind of cover just a couple of quick things on the form. Essentially, we are the production company. We are the exclusive supplier for internet and power. I assume a lot of you will need those services, so please note they are documented on this form in a couple different variations. We can certainly go above and beyond what's simply listed here. This is a quick snapshot of the most commonly requested services with respect to monitors at your exhibitor booth, maybe some decor lighting, Wi-Fi in this case is covered. Basic Wi-Fi is covered as part of the conference package. But should you want to do any live streaming of your website, video content, we do have advanced services, and wired or wireless are available upon request, and we can work out some billing and charges for you there. For power, we do have things as simple as a 10 amp drop. 10 amp would come with your extension cord and even a 6-outlet power bar. But we do have quite a bit of power here at the Weston. So if you have a larger booth, you need multiple circuits, 20 amps, maybe other devices that might require a 60 amp or even a 100 amp 3-phase. Those are all things we can support you with here. Just please reach out to the alias email, which is the wcsales@encoreglobal.com at the top right-hand corner of the form. Reach out to us. Myself or Tristan would be happy to answer any questions you have via email. We can work through the form and the process with you. A couple of tidbits I want to address as well. Some of the text in blue, just regarding the pricing here on this form, there are some labor charges that need to be applied based on the full scope of work. That also includes some service fees applied as well. So once you send us this document and complete it with your information, we'll put it into our CRM. We'll send you back a more detailed contract with the labor charges and everything included, tax, and we'll work from there to get that over to you. And at that point, the secure link will be sent to you for payment upon agreeing to the contract and pricing. Also want to note, we do have some different variations in the pricing for any audiovisual equipment, such as the monitor or decor lighting. There's a daily rate applied. So if you're only coming for a day or multiple days, that's a daily rate charge. That does change when we speak to internet and power. We do have an advanced show rate and a regular show rate. The variance in the verbiage there is really speaking to the fact that the advanced show rate is a lesser rate and is applied if you order through us 10 days prior to the start time. We would consider the start time on the 2nd. So if we can get as much as we can from the intake in by the 23rd, you would kick in the advanced show rate. If not, we can certainly do things, help you with the regular rate. And what we're really trying to mitigate is anyone showing up on site on, the day before or day of needing extra services. We do have quite a bit of staff here at the hotel to support you. Even if you have booked the service in advance, we have staff around the hotel to support you if there's any adjustments need to be made at the booth. If you forget to order an extra power drop, let us know. We can absolutely take care of it on a first come, first case basis. But please keep in mind, if you do need multiple monitors or some equipment, we really want to know that in advance. We can have it brought, delivered here, ready to go. Again, we have a little bit of surplus, but great to know in advance with whatever you need. Next slide, please. Again, second slide here, just reviewing some of the exhibitors and companies that have already booked with us. I want just to highlight who we have received. I know there's quite a few booths, so if you're not on this list, please reach out to us as soon as you can. And again, I just wanted to simply recap the two-step process in connecting with us. Please complete that exhibitor form, which I hope you have at this point. Reach out to us via the alias at wcsales@encoreglobal.com email. Once we have that intake, we will get back to you and work out the final details of the order. And again, any questions or anything that's not documented on that form, please ask. We certainly have it. We can certainly find a solution for you. Don't hesitate to ask. We're absolutely here to help you. Thank you.
One thing I would actually add to that is that if you have a floor plan, send it with your order form. It's really helpful for our operations team to actually have like a more exact spot within your booth if you need that power to be dropped somewhere. So if you do have a floor plan, include that in the document that you send over to us, and we can attach it to the show file.
Great point. Thank you, Tristan.
Thank you, Zen and Tristan, for that insightful overview. We are going to be moving right along into our registration reminders. So firstly, early registration actually ended on February 28th, and the regular rate is now in effect. Exhibitor badge registration codes were shared in your booth or kiosk confirmation email, so please be sure to check this email before registering. Thirdly, all exhibitor staff must be registered by April 18th. And then we will also require that non-booth members wishing to attend must purchase an individual attendee badge. We also require that badge swapping or sharing credentials is strictly prohibited for security reasons. And then lastly, a sponsor or exhibitor can have a representative assist with booth setup without purchasing a ticket, but they must be off the exhibition floor by 7 p.m. on Sunday, June 1st. Please send the representative's information to my email, which is tbernard@e-Health25.com. We do have just a few sponsorship add-ons available at the moment. In the event that you're interested in gaining more brand exposures, please reach out to info@e-Health25.com. So we do have a speaker ready room and workspace, charging station, a conference map, patient funding sponsor, accessibility sponsor, wayfinding smart kiosk, and a wellness kit. Okay, regarding exhibitor portal, specifically the certificate of insurance, we do ask that you place your submission preferably before March 31st. That deadline is slowly but surely approaching. In the event that you're unable to meet this deadline, please send me an email and we can actually try to get an extension for you. Are you having trouble uploading your logo? Please send it directly to communications@ehealthconference.com. If your certificate of insurance expires before the conference, please send the updated COI no later than May 5th. Please also ensure that your COI explicitly states a general liability coverage of 5 million Canadian dollars. The COI should be addressed to e-Health Conference and Tradeshow and/or address follows. Also, just a gentle reminder that this slide deck and this webinar are being recorded, so you can actually check our exhibitor information page on our website to get more information on this. Pertaining to conference app reminders, exhibitors and sponsors can access the Hoover app starting April 7th. Delegates will have access 1 week before the conference, so please ensure that your digital exhibitor profile is fully uploaded by then. After April 7th, we do ask that you upload your documents, description, media assets to the Hoover app. Also, please confirm that your booth logos, description, and floor plans are accurate. And also take a moment to explore the app and ensure everything is ready for the conference beforehand. Now we'll be shifting our focus to maximizing your online presence in the conference mobile app. We strongly recommend downloading the Hoover app from your Apple App Store or Google Play Store onto your mobile device. Sign in using the email address that you registered with pertaining to the conference, and familiarize yourself with the app before the event. It's imperative that you visit the Exhibitor Hub section and update your booth profile with your company's photo and any relevant information. The conference app enables you to upload PDFs, documents, videos, and photos directly from your mobile device. And additionally, you can also share YouTube links, Zoom recorded videos, and more. Another crucial task that we ask of you within the conference app is to add your booth staff. In the Exhibitor Hub, navigate to Manage Booth Staff, input the staff member's email address so that they registered with, and designate lead permissions. This enables them to scan delegates who visit your booth, and at the end of the conference, you have the option to download your lead retrieval list directly from the app. Robinson Show Services discussed many of these deadlines that we had discussed previously, but I just wanted to reiterate a few or share a few new ones. So just a reminder to submit your exhibitor portal information no later than March 31st, and also to build your virtual profile in the Hoover Conference app between April 7th to May 19th. And also just to note that the exhibition on June 3rd, we are open between 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and exhibitors cannot tear down before 5 p.m. preferably. What to expect on site. So exhibit booths and kiosks must be staffed at all times during the trade show hours, and representatives must wear the official conference badge while in the exhibit area. Exhibitors can use their phones to scan QR codes on booth visitor badges. The lead list can be exported into a spreadsheet at any time and shared with your colleagues through email. Exhibitors can further obtain insights about leads through their profiles in the conference app and interact with them during or after the event. What kind of food and beverage items can you distribute at your booth? Please kindly note that the venue may actually issue a waiver to each exhibitor and sponsor for distributing the following. So you are allowed to distribute individually wrapped candy and chocolate, fruit snacks, coffee and tea packets, protein snacks, savory snacks, individual wrapped baked goods, and also we are able to actually accommodate alcoholic beverages. So this must be served by a bartender from the Westin Harbor Castle Hotel, and the cost of staff and products will be covered by the exhibitor. What food and beverage items are prohibited from being distributed at your booth? Please refrain from serving any food items that contains nuts in the event of any nut allergies. And also note that the hotel will be providing water, poured coffee and tea, soda and juices. So it's preferred that you do not distribute these at your booth. Examples of non-consumable giveaway items. So in addition to the food products, you are encouraged to distribute company branded merchandise, educational materials, and non-pharmaceutical samples. Pre-approval for these items listed is not required. So going into some frequently asked questions. So will there be any security overseeing the booths 24/7? Yes, the venue will be secured and with limited access outside of setup, show hours, and teardown. While security will be present, we highly recommend that devices that are portable or high value, that they not be left unattended at your booth for added protection. So just to elaborate, if you have your laptop, your iPad, whatever small mobile devices, we do recommend that you take it offsite with you. Can we bring company branded marketing materials like a retractable banner? You are permitted to bring any company branded marketing materials such as a banner, backdrops. Please ensure that these materials comply with the booth's designated height and width so that you're not obstructing your neighboring booths. Would it be better to distribute giveaways during the conference or to wait until the conference ends to select a winner? The decision is entirely up to you. You can choose to announce daily winners throughout the conference, or you can wait until the conclusion of the event. So both options are available depending on how you prefer to manage your your giveaways. In terms of points of contacts, we know that there's multiple people that you'd have to speak with in order to be successful at eHealth. So we wanted to condense this for you. For show services, you are going to be directly communicating with Elaine. For sponsor, exhibitor, and startup zone inquiries, you'll be interacting with me. For electricity, internet inquiries, you'll be interacting with Tristan and Zan via this email. For registration inquiries, we ask that you contact registration at e-Health25.com. For speaker, P3 showcases, and symposia inquiries, please contact treasurer at speakers@eHealthConference.com. And for any general inquiries, we ask that you send an email to info@eHealthConference.com. At this time, we're going to take a break just to cover a few questions in the chat. Just give me one moment while I try to see if there's any unanswered questions here.
I've reposted them at the very bottom of the chat.
Thank you, Treasure. So firstly, we're going to start with Robinson Show Services. So Elaine or Maria, do you mind answering Brittany as it relates to if we purchase a booth package which includes graphic, does this include setup and dismantle? Elaine, you're muted.
Sorry. Yes, everything in our package is full turnkey. So labor and for install and dismantle is included.
Thank you. Question from Ruby. No shipment direct to site. Does that include shipment direct to site day off move-in? So Elaine, can you elaborate on whether or not they can?
Yeah, so if the docks are required for the shipment, then we require a dock booking. So we have a person on the dock receiving that. So, and it really depends on the size. So we're looking for all of the deliveries to come in, obviously on the Saturday and Sunday through a dock booking. I'm not sure if that answers that.
Okay. The next question that we have is there any cost associated with booking a dock time?
Yeah, there is, because the material handling would be done by our team. So our team would be moving the crates to the booth. Our team would be removing the empty crates after the exhibitor has taken off. And that's dependent on the size and scope of the shipment that's coming to the venue. So the online portal does basically walk you through what you should be filling in terms of the type of shipment you have, the weight of the shipment, and that will determine a cost for you. But if you're unsure, please connect with us by email, giving us your the scope of your shipment in terms of size and weight and piece count, and we can give you a quote for that.
Great. Thank you, Elaine. Zan and Tristan, this question is for you. Are the monitors smart TVs?
We do have some, absolutely. We do have some smart TVs in our inventory. Again, if you could please note that in your initial email to us with the exhibitor form that you require a smart TV, as well as the recommended size. These TVs do come on pole stands. So again, if there's a certain height you want, they typically come head height. That would be, to me, 5 to 6 feet. But if there's a certain height you'd like, let us know in advance. More information, the better. But absolutely, we do have smart TVs, yes.
Thank you, Zan. Elaine, another question for you. Are you able to elaborate on in terms of shipping from the US?
Yeah, so for shipping from the US, you require customs clearance. We have a show customs broker recommended, and that is Consult Expo. So we are recommending that you connect with them with regards to your shipping needs, and they will assist you with the process coming through, and then the process of then delivering that to our docks and shipping back out. And for shipping back out, it's really important that you do use a customs broker from a tax perspective, so you avoid any potential taxes on moving things across the border.
Thank you, Elaine. This question regarding how many members can be in the booth, it's a case by case depending on your booth package. So I would recommend just going back to your booth confirmation email, which clearly states how many booth members that you'd like to have. So if it's just a 8x10, sometimes you'll have only 2 to 4 people, but the information specifically to you will be in that booth confirmation email. But if you have a need for additional booth staff, we do recommend that you send an email to our registration contact. Elaine, we have another question for you. Our delivery team will not be allowed to bring items to the booth.
So it really depends on the scope and the size of your shipment. So can carrying of a box through the hotel is allowed, but no dollies and trolleys are allowed. So if you are bringing a small shipment, such as your pamphlets or your giveaways, and you're able to carry, bring them yourselves and carry them in, yes, you're definitely allowed to bring them to the booth. If you have something that needs to go through the docks, no, you're not.
Thank you, Elaine. Let me see here. Another question for Zan. Do you have any TVs that do not come on stands?
Certainly, yeah. So just like a regular computer monitor style, like a 22-inch, something like that. They come with little table stands, just like you'd have at home in like your home office. But all of our larger models, like I would say anything from 32 inches and above, would go on a pole stand. And again, we can measure that out to the height you'd like that, but it would be a pole stand with a base. But I would say anything 32 inches or below would then standardly come with just the regular commercial stand it comes with as you'd buy it for home. Yes.
Thank you, Zan. We have another question. Do marketing support staff need to be registered for badges if they're just there to support setup and take down, not interested in running or visiting booths or attending the exhibit? So we do require that you send an email including the information pertaining to your marketing contact. Please note that they are not allowed to be on site past 7 p.m. on Sunday, June 1st. Then we do have, let me see here, a question. Do you have any TV? Okay, we answered that. Okay, I believe we have addressed most, if not all, the questions. Again, in terms of the recording, this will be shared on our website under the Exhibitor information webpage. So we do ask that you give us a bit of time just to make any necessary edits, but we should have this to you hopefully by end of day tomorrow at the latest on Monday. Oh, it seems as if we have missed a question. Can we have ice cream at our booth? So I would have to look into that, Maheen, just to see if we could get approval for that. But I will reach out to you just to see if that is something that is feasible. Okay, then we have another question from Ruby for Elaine. Products are sensitive and our delivery team are knowledgeable moving the products. That is bedside monitors, bedside patient pumps. Is this something that we could make an exception for in terms of having them move their stuff into the booth?
Yeah, so this is normal for any medical show, and due to insurance purposes, it's not. But what we do request is that we will take the conversation with you guys offline in terms of how you are shipping those medical pieces of equipment. And what we typically request is that we move them with one of your team members through the docks into the booth space, and then your team members would unpack it due to the high value of the items inside, and then we would work to you as what you want to do with those empties for offsite storage. So it's certainly a larger discussion based on your product. And again, given the fact that this is a weekend, it must be a weekend delivery. So that's something that a lot of the companies are sending that stuff to our advanced warehouse because their internal trucks don't have the capacity to deliver on the weekends. I'm not sure if that's the case in this situation.
Thank you, Elaine. I believe we have addressed all the questions in the chat. So at this time, we are going to conclude. So thank you everyone for attending the webinar today. Please feel free to keep an eye out just to see if you have any questions. Just check our website for more information. If not, you can send us an email. Feel free to take a screenshot, a picture of the different contacts that you can get in touch with. And thank you again for joining.